Okay, let's see if it works when it's nice out. Alright, stay tuned, I'll get her fired up. I'm going to try to boil a little pan of water. Okay, stay tuned, thanks. Okay, I'm going to prime it with birch bark. It's going to go in there, I'm going to light that on and push it to the riser. Get that riser heated up so it starts sucking it in, and I chopped some kindling because it was dry. You remember the last video I had, it was raining, so I got some dry wood. So let's get fired up. I got a Sprite, so I can't really see. You can see it sucking through the fire chamber. I don't know if you can see that actually. Maybe now. Got one log in there. Steam's starting to come off the water already. Let's see, pull this off and see. And it's doing the rocket thing. I'm gonna mess up my camera. So let's give it a little while and watch it. Now the concept of a rocket stove is you have a feeder that holds the ends of the sticks are what burns, and it slowly feeds itself. That gives it a higher efficiency. The combustion chamber heats up and burns not only the wood and ash, but any leftover gases. That increases the heat. And the riser, the longer the riser, the faster that suction will happen. So you want to keep it, you know, a decent size if you're going to pack it, you know, small. Aluminum, the temperature with one stick is not going to get hot enough to melt that. 900 degrees is aluminum, and this is nowhere near 900 degrees. And don't do galvanized. Galvanized zinc oxide coating is poisonous. Don't burn it. What else did I want to say? Yeah, it's starting with water. Anyway, I'm gonna get that boiling. I'll come back. Maybe you do burn at night so y'all can see the flame again. Okay. Now you can see it's sucking it. That's what it's supposed to do. Now I got a flute in the back where I fed the prime, but I don't have a backing made yet, so I just use that log to kind of close it up. And that makes the air suck down through the feeder. And that'll bring that up into the riser. One thing is, if this out in the bush, if you cover this with dirt, the combustion chamber, like 3 inches of dirt, or put it in the ground, you'll get a mass heating effect too. Also, it'll probably burn more efficiently too, because all the holes, so spaces will be covered up. The riser, I didn't put a bottom on it. It'll eventually just sit on the ground. I wouldn't recommend you setting it on a picnic table like I did. But water's coming. Okay, stay tuned. Okay, a fail. It's not supposed to be getting that backdraft and burning up the feeder like that. Anybody know why it's doing that? It's because I covered up the riser with a pot of water. I gotta make that open more so that it's still shooting up, but you're not supposed to get any of that feedback. So we gotta make on Mark III a space between the top of the riser and the pan of water. What I'm thinking though is if I go back to my radiator concept and put a radiator over top of the riser, cook on the radiator, and chimney it out like a true rocket stove mass heater. But gotta go to the end of a shelter. Well, no, not necessarily, because this isn't like it's a closed system. You're still gonna get smoke and stuff. But definitely some kind of platform for a pot to sit on. I can't sit on top of the riser, otherwise the whole thing goes to hell. Should have known that. But anyway, the learning curve. So when you make one of these, make sure you have some kind of platform on top of the riser. Otherwise, it's going to reverse itself and you're going to get fire in your feeder, and that's not very efficient. So yeah, okay, stay tuned. It's a work in progress. Okay, it's just starting to boil. It's sucking still. I'm running out of wood. It's sucking into the feeder. You can see it down there. But I think because of the blowback and the open system, I mean, it's working, but I definitely need a space. If I were to hold that there, that would go. But putting it on top like that, look at all the smoke coming out of the feeder now. You hear that? Rocket stove's pretty cool. I just gotta close the system up somehow. Well, obviously make these joints a little tighter. Not so much space. You can see the fire sucking into the combustion chamber. But look at it. Yeah. I should have made them lock together better. But this is the Mark II. Mark III is going to be a much tighter fit, and note to self, you cannot just put the grill to hold your pans on top of the riser. You'll get blowback. And it'll start burning out of your feeder. So keep it with a space on it. That is pretty cool though. It's a good concept. Alright, I'm going to let these burn down. Water almost boiled. I wouldn't recommend you sterilize your water that way. Welcome to New York snow. I got snow in my shop. Oh, by the way, I put this on the wood to make it easier to film. The ground is hard, but that riser and the feeder and the combustion chamber would all be on the ground. The riser is just going to slide right over top of the combustion chamber, and the ground is going to be your platform. So I probably set that wood on fire underneath. Let me check that maybe after this burns out. And again, if you bury that with sand or dirt, you're going to get a nice mass heating effect out of that too. And if I put a radiator over it, like a true rocket stove mass heater, the aftermath, you can see where the riser is, the combustion chamber. You can almost tell where the heat, isn't that cool? The heat starts, fans out to the riser, and then you want the riser and the end of the combustion chamber to be the hottest part. So that makes total sense. That is so cool, because the feeder was here, fire burned down, heat up there. Is that not cool? Anyway, keep building. I hope I inspire people. Get out there and build stuff. Mark III on its way. Stay tuned. Bye.